Hi guys, so I'm finally doing the update on Jackson's dad. It's been requested by a few people and I wasn't going to do an update. Since enough people asked, I'm just going to do it. Jackson's dad is currently not in the picture. I don't feel it would be right for me to exactly go through all those reasons for his privacy and his sake. I'll just give a quick rundown for those of you who are confused and have been watching my videos and kind of don't understand what's going on. I met Jackson's dad when I was 16. Got pregnant February of 2008 and we got married June of 2008. And then it's been kind of an on and off thing ever since. When I started my YouTube channel, we were living in Lehigh and we were together, but we weren't legally married. And then we split up in August and I did a video on that. And then ever since then it's kind of been confusing for some of you that watch this. And most of the people who watch this channel are my family, so you guys know. But the ones that don't and have been requesting the update, this is what's happened since then. So we split up in August and I moved back to my hometown. After that, he came back here and wanted to work it out again, and he said that he felt moving out of state and moving to Texas would give us a fresh start. He decided to work it out, move away from everything, have like a new beginning. It would be better for his job. So we moved to Texas in December of 2015. And I was only there a month. And the reason I left is very severe. I would not move all the way to Texas and leave over a silly argument or anything like that. My son was in danger, and if I were to stay there, I would worry about the sake of me and my son, and that is why I left. And upon finding out certain information about halfway through December, I tried multiple attempts and tried different solutions on things that could fix the situation at hand, and he wasn't receptive to any of those, and still currently isn't. So the final straw was on New Year's Eve, and we left, and I left everything I owned, all of our Christmas, all of Jackson's clothes, his toys, all of my clothes, all my decorations, like everything. And we did have some things that we had left in a storage unit here when we moved to Texas, so that was nice to be able to use to kind of get going again. But the things that meant the most were left in Texas, and they still are there, and we probably will not be getting them back. So we came back. I packed Jackson up in the car and drove January 1st all the way back. We stayed with my grandma for about 3 to 4 days, and she lives in a place that's for retirement, so that couldn't be a long-term solution. So we ended up moving into a townhome, and I have been living in this townhome with Jackson, and I let my sister move in, who is currently in school. And we've been living here from about January 7th, I think January 7th or 9th, we signed the lease, and we've been living here till now, and it is April 30th. So since then, he came back in February over Valentine's Day, and I spent time with him then. And it was because it was really hard to leave, and it's really hard to end something that's been going on for 9-10 years. And we spent time together, and the same situation and problems were still there. They're still present. It escalated to a worse situation, which involved some very, very serious things over the time period that he was here, over that kind of Valentine's Day period. So we quit talking. I didn't go forward with any legal action at that point because I figured he lived in Texas. We lived here. I didn't want any extra added stress or problems. But then he came back over Easter unexpectedly. He showed up at about 4 a.m. on my doorstep and just was a mess and crying, and I didn't really know what to do. So I tried a few different things, and I did let him see us for Easter, which may or may not have been the best idea. And He wanted us to move back to Texas and this and that, but the same issues were still present, and it just wouldn't be a smart situation. Me and Jackson are in a really good spot right now. So, some more things happened. I'm sorry I'm so vague. I really don't want to put everything out there. I'm just trying to give an overview. But as of right now, there is a protective order, a temporary protective order in place for both me and Jackson. He cannot have any contact with us whatsoever. We have court on May 12th. He doesn't like to have contact with Jackson or try to see him unless it's seeing me as well. And that's always been kind of an issue. He's never actually taken him on his own. When he says he wants to see Jackson, it's me. When he talks to Jackson on the phone, it's always questions about me. And that just has to stop. He doesn't have involvement with his other 2 children at all. I still see Bryn when I can, and we go do things together, and I talk to her, and she's very upset that he doesn't call her and try to be more involved in her life. And it's a very sad situation, and there's reasons and there's things behind it, and I don't hate him for it. I wish that Jackson did have him in his life and knew that his father cared about him. Jackson is currently in counseling for all of this, and he's been working through a lot of those emotions and feelings about the situation, and that has been so great. I've seen so much good come out of that, but it has been a little hard. I am used to, no matter the circumstance over the years, being in contact and being in each other's lives. I think it's been a very healthy thing, but it's been a very hard emotional thing to come to terms with, and we're making the best of it that we can, and we're just trying to stay positive and stay happy and just go on from there and work on what we can. I don't know what will happen in the future. I would never want to keep Jackson from his father. I've always told him anytime you'd like to call him or see him or anything, you can. And I've told Jackson that, because in the past, Luke would text and say, hey, I want to talk to Jackson, or this or that, and then I'd go to Jackson and say, hey, your dad wants to talk to you, and he'd be like, no, I don't want to call, or this or that. And I'd kind of almost persuade him, like, it's your dad, he misses you, this or that. And then I learned in his counseling that that's actually more damaging to do that, to kind of force that relationship when the relationship between them has been so hurtful for Jackson. And Luke believes that Jackson doesn't like his dad because of me, because of things I say, which I don't say anything. So he just has it in his head that I have turned the situation against him, which is completely and totally not true. When, the counselor hears Jackson's side of the story and the things Jackson says, it's solely based on Luke's actions and what he does and says and how he interacts with Jackson. So it isn't me, but I think maybe it makes Luke feel better to feel like it is my fault in some way. And when later on down the road, I know he will realize what's happened. I have my faults as well. I'm not saying that it's all him, but with saying that, I have tried absolutely everything possible and given more chances than anybody that I know in the situation over the years, and I can't do it anymore. I know that I have said that before, but this time is a lot different. Before, it was more of an affair trust issue, and these are completely different reasons that were things that we had not dealt with. One of the things we had not dealt with in years, and another issue had never been present the entire 10 years that we'd been together. And I do not believe in putting myself or my son in a harmful situation, and that's where I have to draw the line. I did forgive the cheating, but I can't forgive what has happened, and he definitely minimizes it, says it wasn't that bad, like whatever. But I believe that what I'm doing is right, and Jackson is a lot happier, I'm a lot happier. It's definitely been a hard situation, and down the road I would love to see him involved in his life, and I would be okay with him not being involved in mine. I would love to co-parent and be civil. I don't believe at this point that will ever be the case. That would be awesome, but I honestly just don't see that happening with our history and our past. There's the situation on Jaxon's dad. I don't know if that covers kind of an update of what you guys were wanting to hear or the questions that you guys had. Where he's at, he's still living in Texas, but he does still travel. I believe he's in Illinois right now. He still travels for his work. He has moved on to some other girl that just turned 18, so that's cute. But yeah, as far as everything else, we're just picking up the pieces, we're moving on. We're hopeful that this is going on a better path. I do have a new boyfriend. We just got together 5 days ago. So it's somebody that I've known for a while, and it's been going really, really good. So I'm happy and Jaxon's happy, and we'll see where it goes from there. And in the meantime, I can keep giving updates on what's going on. I prefer not to, because it's not something that it's not a pleasant topic. It's really uncomfortable for me to talk about, and I'd rather not, but I can see the confusion as 1 minute we're living together, 1 minute we're done, the next he's here for Easter. Like, it doesn't really make sense, and I understand that completely, and I want the people that do watch my channel to understand what's going on and not kind of leave people in the dark. So that's why I'm willing to do it. If there's any other questions or things that you guys would like to know, I would be happy to either answer them privately or do a video depending on what the situation is. So yeah, and I'm hoping to keep up on my videos. I know I'm hit and miss. Did just start a job, and I'm getting into school, and Jaxon's in soccer, and it's about to be summer and it's gonna be busy, but I'll try to keep up on videos and let you guys know what we're up to and things like that. So yeah, bye.